Welcome back to the election analysis program and good afternoon. As the Congress Eye projection now firms at around 210 to 220 seats, we look ahead in this program as to what kind of government are we going to have. But first, let's have a look at the headlines at this hour. Biju Patnaik fires the first salvo. As usual, he says that Congress Eye and JD should form a coalition government. The Congress Eye is routed in UP and Bihar, heading for one of its worst defeats ever in these two states. The Congress Eye wins Sirembudur. The Congress Eye and BJP split Rajasthan, and Jyoti Basu wins Satgachia for the fourth time.
इस कार्यक्रम के मुख्य समाचार इस प्रकार हैं। कांग्रेस आय और जनता दल की मिली-जुली सरकार बनाने के लिए बीजू पटनायक का आग्रह। उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार में कांग्रेस औंधे मुंह गिरी। श्री पेरुम्बुदूर सीट कांग्रेस आय ने जीती। राजस्थान में सारी सीटें कांग्रेस आय और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बीच बटी और सतकाचिया में ज्योति बासु चुनाव जीते।
Well, let's have a look at the results situation. This is the overall macro picture. We'll be going into a little more detail in this program, telling you from where and what kind of personalities have been winning. But at the start of the program, let's see what the results are in the All India position right now. We have information on 307 out of 511 seats. The Congress Eye has got 163, that's up 35. These are results. BJP 71, that's up 2 since 89. The Janata Dal 21, down 50 seats. The AIDMK 11, the Telugu Desam 9, of course that's part of the National Front, others 32. The CPM, again part of the National Left Front Combine, 9. The Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, again part of the front, CPI 4, Bahujan Samaj Party 1, making a total for others of 32. And the leadings, because this is the trends right now, this leadings includes results. It's a combination of leadings plus the results that we've just seen. The Congress Eye has got 202, crossed that 200 magic figure, but still way under 50% of the 445 leadings that we have. BJP 97, struggling to cross the 100 mark. The Janata Dal picking up now, 45, but still down 63 since before. CPM, part of the National Front, Left Front Combines, 31, up 1 since last time. Telugu Desam 11, that's up 10 since last time. And others 59 out of 445. These others consist of the AIDMK, which is an ally of the Congress Eye. The CPI 10, again part of the National Front, Left Front Combine. JMM, again part of the front, 5. RSP 3. Bahujan Samaj Party 1, making others 59.
511 लोकसभा निर्वाचन क्षेत्रों में से हमारे पास 307 चुनाव परिणाम हैं। इनके मुताबिक कांग्रेस आय 163 जगहों पर विजयी रही है और उसे पिछले चुनाव के मुकाबले 35 स्थान का फायदा हुआ है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी 71 स्थानों पर विजयी रही है और उसे 2 स्थान का फायदा हुआ अभी तक। जनता दल 21 स्थानों पर विजयी रहा है और उसे 50 स्थान का नुकसान हुआ है। अन्ना डीएमके 11 स्थान पर विजयी रही है और किसी भी स्थान का फायदा या नुकसान नहीं है। तेलुगु देशम 9 स्थान पर विजयी रही है और उसे 8 स्थान का फायदा रहा है और अन्य 32 स्थानों पर विजयी रहे हैं और उन्हें 5 स्थान का फायदा है। यदि हम रुझान देखें, लीडिंग्स क्या है, तो इस प्रकार है। 511 में से 445 सीटों से जो हमें सूचना मिली है उसके मुताबिक कांग्रेस आय 202 स्थानों पर आगे है, यानी उसे 31 स्थान का फायदा है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी 97 स्थानों पर आगे है और उसे 18 स्थान का फायदा है। जनता दल 45 स्थान पर आगे है और उसे 63 स्थान का नुकसान है। कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी मार्क्सिस्ट 31 स्थान पर आगे है और 1 स्थान का फायदा है। तेलुगु देशम 11 स्थान पर आगे है और 10 स्थान का फायदा है और अन्य 59 स्थानों पर आगे हैं और उन्हें 10 स्थान का फायदा है।
Distinguished panel, I'd like to take a quick trip down to the BJP headquarters where we have LK Advani waiting for us there.
The destination was Ayodhya, but the Rath Yatra, which began from Somnath, had to wind up at Samastipur because the entry into Uttar Pradesh was banned by the Mulayam Singh government. Mr. Advani was arrested, the BJP withdrew support, and the National Front government came tumbling down. The rest is history. Ironically now, the BJP will not have any say at the center, but it will have its own government in Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Advani, do you now propose to complete your Rath Yatra? Now that there will be nobody to stop you.
The Rath Yatra was intended to educate public opinion about an issue. And I believe that the Rath Yatra has been remarkably successful in achieving that objective, and not merely achieving it, but making our viewpoint the focal point in a major electoral battle.
How will you now solve the temple issue?
Well, if we are able to form a government in Uttar Pradesh, as seems likely, we'll certainly pursue the matter, though all through the campaign, when we spoke about Ayodhya, we used to appeal to the electorate to give us a mandate both for the center as well as the state in order to enable us to sort out this problem in an amicable, harmonious manner, but in a manner which respects the sentiments of the country. But it happens that we have not got a mandate for ruling at the center, and we might get a mandate for ruling in the state. Now in that situation, we will have to consider how to proceed about this matter.
Now we have the two dreaded words, hung parliament. Will you think of providing constructive support to the Congress to help India get a stable, united government?
Well, a hung parliament came about even last time, and what happens after a hung parliament cannot be totally divorced from the positions taken by parties during the election campaign. And it is against that background that all that I can say is that the people have cast upon us a duty to function as an opposition party. We propose to do that.
If you do decide to give Congress constructive support, on what terms and conditions?
I don't think that this matter has been considered by the party at all, because all along we have taken a position and they have taken a position which doesn't make it easy for either of us to cooperate in government.
At one stage during your election campaign, you said that the Congress and the National Front had got into a pact to defeat the BJP. Is that so?
I have at least never said that, though it may have been suggested by some other colleague of mine, though a pact would not be an appropriate word. In such situations, you often see parties opposed to a single other party working at tandem in a manner as to suggest that there is a pact, which necessarily need not be there.
Do you now regret pulling down the National Front government? Because at that stage, you got along with National Front only to keep the Congress out of power. Now, ironically, you brought back the Congress to power.
No, I have not the slightest regrets in what we did in the month of November. In fact, if we had not done that, the BJP could not have answered anything. We could not have been able to increase our strength as we have been able to do it.
What kind of role do you see for your party now?
From a position 2 years back, when we were only 2 in the Lok Sabha, when we had not a single state in the country where we could say that we are ruling, we have arrived at a stage in 2 years, 2 short years, where we have a membership of over 100 in the Lok Sabha. That's what it seems at the moment, though the final figures are yet to come in. And 4 state governments, 1 in the most populous state of the country, 1 in the largest state of the country. And I would think that this is a remarkable achievement for a party which in the past was always supposed to move forward only when it had an adjustment with the opposition, only when there was a strong anti-Congress wave. And now for the first time there has been no anti-Congress wave. And the BJP has fought on its own and has achieved this remarkable success.
Well, Mr. Advani still thinks that this is a remarkable success. This is Shashi Mehta from the BJP headquarters, and now over to Prabhat Dabral at Congress Eye.
धन्यवाद शशि। स्टूडियो में हमारे साथ जो हमारे मेहमान हैं, मैं एक दफ़ा आपसे उनका परिचय करवा दूं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के श्री सिकंदर बख्त, जनता दल के प्रोफेसर मधु दंडवते और कांग्रेस आय के श्री बलराम जाखड़। आपका स्वागत है आप सबका स्टूडियो में। सबसे पहला सवाल सिकंदर बख्त साहब आपसे, राम लहर का चमत्कार केवल उत्तर प्रदेश ही में क्यों दिखाई दिया?
सारे हिंदुस्तान में दिखाई दिया है। असल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को परफॉर्मेंस को इस नुक्ता नज़र से जज नहीं करना चाहिए कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सरकार बनाने का दावा किया था और नहीं बना सकी, बल्कि इस नुक्ता नज़र से जज करना चाहिए कि कौन कौन से ऐसे एरियाज थे कि जहां समझा जाता था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कोई वजूद नहीं है और वहां पार्टी का सपोर्ट बेस उसमें फिनोमिनल एक्सपेंशन हुई है, बढ़ा है। तो ये कहना कि राम जन्मभूमि का, असल में अनफॉर्चुनेट बात एक ये भी है कि हम इलेक्शंस की जीत और हार को, लोगों की सपोर्ट को, कितनी सीटें किसी ने जीती कितनी हारी उस पर ले आते हैं। वो बुनियादी तौर पे गलत है, क्योंकि और मेरी समझ में भी नहीं आता कि लोग ऑफ द कफ जस्टिफाई करने के लिए आर्गूमेंट्स इतनी जल्दी कहाँ से ले आते हैं, जबकि पूरा डेटा अवेलेबल नहीं है, कितने परसेंट वोट कौन सी पार्टी ने लिए, कितनी मार्जिनल सीट्स हारी गई या जीती गई, या रीजन वाइज वेरिएबल्स क्या क्या हैं वगैरह वगैरह। मैं बात ख़त्म कर रहा हूँ।
पैरामीटर वाज इलेक्शन दिस टाइम।
मैं वही आ रहा हूँ, मैं वही कह रहा था कि इलेक्शंस में ये समझना कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी में सीटें ज़्यादा आई हैं या साउथ में सीट्स कम आई हैं, तो राम की लहर सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश में महदूद थी, मैं इसको गलत मानता हूँ, क्योंकि हमारा सपोर्ट बेस हिंदुस्तान के हर कोने में एक्सपेंड हुआ है और मैं समझता हूँ वो राम लहर थी।
Professor Dandavate, thank you very much for joining us again. You're a veteran of this program, of course. In fact, you are one of the biggest surprises, I think, of this election. And I don't think I'd be wrong in saying that almost all other parties, no matter which part of the House they're going to sit in the next Lok Sabha, will certainly miss your presence there. Why did you lose this time?
The reasons of my losing are connected with the previous question which Vinod has put up. I think throughout the country, to a smaller or bigger extent, there were three waves: the Mandir wave, the Mandal wave, and a sympathy wave for Rajiv Gandhi. At places, one wave was able to dissipate the other, and to that extent, that particular wave was subsided. Now, in my own constituency, I must admit that the impact of sympathy wave for Rajiv Gandhi after his assassination was very pronounced, and one of the reasons is, I also tried to confirm that as far as the voting pattern in my constituency is concerned, about 1,84,000 males voted and 1,87,000 women voted. And even after the elections were out, in my sample survey, I ascertained from number of women that whatever be our political affiliations, our heart bleeded for Rajiv Gandhi when he was assassinated, and that did affect our voting pattern.
That's very interesting.
जाकर साहब, उत्तर प्रदेश और बिहार में कांग्रेस आई की दुर्गति क्यों हुई है?
उत्तर प्रदेश का तो आपको मालूम है कि जो हालात हुए और वहीं सारा साना हुआ मंदिर का, और जो अडवाणी जी रथ लेके चले वहीं आके सारा मसला हुआ। उसके ऊपर जो वहाँ गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक्शन हुआ वो भी वहीं हुआ, और हमारा मुलायम सिंह जी को कुछ साथ देना उसका भी असर हुआ। और जहाँ ऐसा वाक़या होता है वहाँ लाजमी तौर पे सहानुभूति कुछ जो लोग मरते हैं उनके प्रति हो जाती। इस प्रकार से ये ऐसा मौका हुआ। और बिहार में मैं समझता हूँ कि कुछ तो गवर्नमेंट और उस आला का कुछ ज़्यादा नाजायज़ इस्तेमाल, और जो मैंने सुना है जो धींगा मस्ती हुई है उसका असर, और कुछ मंडल का असर
जी।
इस प्रकार से ये सारा मसला हुआ।
बख्श साहब, उत्तर प्रदेश में आपकी पार्टी की सरकार बनाने की संभावनाएं हैं, मुमकिन है कि आपकी पार्टी सरकार बनाएगी, ऐसा लग रहा है इस वक्त। तो जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार उत्तर प्रदेश में बनेगी तो ये जो जन्मभूमि मस्जिद विवाद है, अयोध्या की जो समस्या है, आप इसे कितने दिन में या कितने महीनों में सुलझाने का दावा करते हैं या फैसला करते हैं?
कोई शेड्यूल बनाना तो नामुमकिन है, लेकिन हमारे साथ सामने एक वो मुद्दा रहा है और हम उस मुद्दे पे बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से कायम हैं जैसा कि हम इलेक्शन के दौरान चल रहे थे।
इलेक्शन के दौरान आप सत्ता में नहीं थे, अब आप उत्तर प्रदेश में सत्ता में आने
सत्ता
जा
में
रहे
है तो देखेंगे कितना समय लगेगा, क्या होगा। बहरहाल उसके लिए कोई शेड्यूल पहले से तो बनाया नहीं जा सकता, पहले तो सत्ता में आने दीजिए, उसके बाद उसके बारे में सोचेंगे।
हैं। कोई स्पष्ट कमिटमेंट नहीं आप देंगे?
नहीं, कमिटमेंट तो पक्का है, कमिटमेंट है कि राम मंदिर बनना है,
जी,
ये कमिटमेंट है, लेकिन कब बनना है वो कैसे बताया जा सकता है, सरकार तो बनने दीजिए पहले।
I just wanted to take up something from what Professor Dandavate said actually about the so-called sympathy wave. There have been a number of states that have voted in May and in June, and if we look at the differential voting pattern there, we get some indication of whether there has been any increase in the Congress vote. And if we look, for example, at Rajasthan, now if you look at the striped area towards the west, the northeast part of Rajasthan, that striped area is June voting, and the striped area is May voting, and the other area is June voting, in other words to the southwest. Now if you look there, the Congress vote, that is the Congress vote, went up only 1.6% in the May voting, but it went up 14.3% since 1989 in the June voting. In other words, in the post-Rajiv Gandhi assassination period, the Congress did much better in those constituencies. Now look at Madhya Pradesh. Again, the striped area is the May voting, and the southern part is the June voting. Now let's look at the results here. In the southern part, the Congress, in the June voting, that southern part, the Congress vote went up 10.6%. But in the striped area, which is the north, that's the May voting area, pre-Rajiv Gandhi assassination, the Congress vote went up 6.4. So there's again a 4% difference there as well. Now let's go across to Uttar Pradesh. Again, in the northern part and central part of Uttar Pradesh, there's the June voting, and the southern belt, you can see that striped belt, it's the May voting. And again here we look, Congress has gone down in both places, but here in May it went down by 14.6%, but in June it went down by only 4.7%. In other words, it actually improved between the two by about 10%. So all across it does tend to show that there definitely was an increase in the Congress share of the vote in the June voting compared to the May voting, and we're getting figures for Andhra Pradesh as well. But I'd like to redefine the so-called sympathy factor a little bit. What we've been looking at, and we'll provide more evidence, I hope, in the next program, is that in these areas in the June voting, the turnout has gone up considerably. We're looking at a 5 to 7% increase in turnout. And instead of a sympathy factor, it's some kind of, apparently, an energizing of the apathetic Congress-I voter. He seems to have come out in larger forces, and I think, as you said, Professor Dandavate, the women perhaps came out in even larger numbers in the June voting compared to the May, where they sat back and you had a very low turnout. So we're comparing June with May. In June you find a higher turnout and a higher Congress vote. In a May voting, lower turnout and lower Congress vote. A kind of energizing, a jolting. The assassination seems to have jolted the Congress-I into some kind of the voter to come out and actually cast his vote rather than stay at home.
रणपत साहब, मेरा अगला सवाल ये है कि जो उन्होंने जहां पर छोड़ा है, हत्याकांड की वजह से आपके पार्टी को पूरे देश में वोट में कितना नुकसान हुआ? यदि हत्याकांड ना हुआ होता तो जनता दल की परफॉर्मेंस क्या रही होती? आपकी प्रोजेक्शन क्या थी इस वक्त?
प्रणय ने जो कहा है उसमें मैंने पहले जो कहा उसका एक कन्फर्मेशन है। ब्रॉडली तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि राजीव जी के हत्या के बाद जो चुनाव हुए उस पर राजीव हमदर्द लहर का ज़्यादा असर रहा, लेकिन ये होते हुए भी जहाँ मंदिर और मंडल लहर ज़्यादा प्रभावित हुई, वह किस हद तक मैं समझता हूँ कि ये राजीव हमदर्दी लहर का प्रभाव थोड़ा सा कम होता रहा। और इसलिए मैंने कहा कि ये स्ट्रेट जैकेट उसका रिप्लाई नहीं हो सकता येस और नो, क्योंकि यूपी और बिहार की हालत अलग है। बिहार में मंडल वेव थी, उत्तर प्रदेश में मंदिर वेव थी, साउथ में हमदर्दी की वेव थी, और आपने देखा मंदिर और मंडल वेव जहाँ मजबूत रही वह किस हद तक असर ये सिंपैथी वेव का बहुत कम हो गया, और यही जनता दल के बारे में ये हम कह सकते हैं।
Counting in Assam was only started today, and we don't have very much information. If we can just go across to Assam where the OB van is waiting, we go across to Bhanu Haralu for a report on the latest position in Assam.
Party positions in the northeast are as follows. In Arunachal Pradesh, in both the Lok Sabha seats, the Congress-I is in the lead. In Manipur, in the 2 seats in the inner Manipur constituency, the Manipur People's Party has been declared elected. And in the Outer Manipur constituency, Mr. Kamson of the Congress I is in the lead. In Meghalaya, in the 2 seats where counting began today, the independent candidate, Mr. Gigi Swell, in the Shillong parliamentary constituency is in the lead. And in Tura, Mr. P.A. Sangma of the Congress I has been declared elected. In Mizoram, the Congress I is leading. In Nagaland, the Naga People's Council candidate is leading over his Congress I rival. In Tripura East and West, both Mr. Santosh Mohan Deb and Maharani Bibu Devi have been declared elected. Coming to Assam, of the 8 assembly segments, results of the 8 assembly segments, the Assam State Demand Committee have received 5 seats, Congress I 2 and the Independent 1. Where trends in the 11 assembly segments show AGP with 3, SUCI with 1 and PTCA with 1. In coming to the Lok Sabha, trends for 7 parliamentary constituency out of the 14 seats show the Congress I in the lead of 3, AGP 2, ASDC 1 and BJP 1. In 5 of the parliamentary constituencies, including Guwahati and a large number of assembly segments, counting began today. Early this morning, ballot boxes were opened in the presence of the contesting candidates to ensure the mixing of the ballot papers in a fair manner. I have with me this afternoon 2 outstanding political leaders of the state, Mr. P.K. Mahanta of the AGP and former Chief Minister, and Mr. David Ledger of the Notun Ahom Gana Parishad, who is also General Secretary of the party. Mr. Mahanta, the Congress I is leading in 3 Lok Sabha constituencies, AGP is leading in 1, and no trends are in favor of the NAGP. Do you think the split in the AGP has given Congress I an advantage?
No, it is too early to comment upon it, and I hope that let the final result come out, and it will be possible to comment upon it at that time, and we expect more.
Well, the Congress I has definitely benefited from the split. I won't deny that, but I'm not of the opinion that the Congress I will get that majority which will help them to form the government.
Do you think the general impression that the AGP government was corrupt has also given the Congress I an advantage?
No, this is not correct. And the people who are going to elise like that, they fail to prove it. Therefore, this is not correct, and people, we appeal to the people, and I hope that let the counting finished, then we get the result.
But the main reason that the split in the AGP has come about has been because of corruption charges in the AGP. How do you reply?
No, any people can elise to others, but main thing is that how to prove it, but they fail to prove it. Therefore, these charges are not correct and is the baseless.
What is your view on this, Mr.?
Well, there have been allegations of corruption. There have been proofs also, and it's already been public. I don't think it's necessary to harp on that anymore, because on these issues only the party split, and it has not only split in 2 ways, it has split in many ways.
The equation between the National Front and the AGP is different from what it was in 1998. 1999, I beg your pardon. In case there is a hung parliament at the center, will you support the National Front?
No, we are going to discuss with the National Front. Then will be decided.
The AGP was not called at the National Front Executive Council meeting.
Let the result out first. Then we'll be going to discuss.
Do you foresee a hung assembly in Assam due to the splitting of votes between the 34 parties which were in fray?
Well, that is a possibility which cannot be denied, but I'm sure the regional parties can get together even at this stage and can secure the help of the Left and Democratic Alliance, and there can be a possibility of forming a government in the state.
If there is a hung parliament, who would you support?
That means?
If there is a hung assembly, who would you support?
This question does not raise now. Let the result out first.
To prevent the Congress I from forming the government, we are prepared, our party is prepared to go for all sorts of adjustments. Door is open, our mind.
Thank you. With this, we take you back to the studios in New Delhi.
Thank you very much, Bhanu Haralu. Let's have a quick rundown of the personality results that we've had so far during today and late yesterday night. Mr. Bansi Lal has been elected from Tosham. He's of course fighting from his new Haryana Vikas Parishad party. Mr. Siddhartha Shankar Ray trounces his CPM rival in the West Bengal Assembly from Chaurangi. Jayalalitha wins both her assembly seats and is of course heading towards being the most likely next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Mr. Stalin has lost to his AIDMK rival. Mr. Stalin is Karunanidhi's son. Mr. N.D. Tiwari is leading in Haldwani, but it's a close fight. It's a tough fight over there in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections. Mr. Subodh Kant Sahai, Minister of State for Home, loses to his BJP rival in Ranchi in Bihar. Mr. Chidambaram, former Minister of State for Home, has had his third consecutive victory from Shivaganga in Tamil Nadu. The trade union leader Datta Samant is trailing his Shiv Sena rival from Bombay South Central in Maharashtra. The actor Victor Banerjee is trailing in Calcutta Northwest in West Bengal. Anand Singh Dangi has been elected from Mayhem, and that's quite a sensational result. That's
Right.
a story of the election of the politics over the last 2 years. Really.
We have Prabhat Dabral waiting for us at the Congress I headquarters now, and we'll quickly go across to Prabhat Dabral and let's see what he has for us.
So BJP has already won 4 seats out of 7 in Delhi and is leading in 1 more. Congress I camp here is not entirely disappointed, mainly for 2 reasons perhaps. One, that most of the BJP victors have won with narrow margin, and 2, a comparatively lightweight Congress I candidate, Mr. Rajesh Khanna, has given some very anxious moments to BJP stalwart, Mr. L.K. Advani. The superstar of yesteryears is here with us, Mr. Rajesh Khanna. How do you feel now that you have been defeated in that constituency?
Well, I would just like to say one thing, that I have won this election. Morally, he has lost this election. I won the elections by 3,500. And the returning officer announced him the winner. I don't know what went wrong where. And I requested the returning officer that I want to recount.
Yes.
I was denied that. It was all in a hush-hush. Everything went off so quickly, and the whole affair sounded very dicey.
The very fact that you were pitted against a very powerful candidate, and you were a late starter also because your name was announced very late, didn't you think from the very beginning that it is going to be a very tough contest?
Yeah, he is a very heavyweight, yes, but at the same time I would like to say that a veteran leader which is known nationally and internationally, as soon as my name was announced, he went away to Gandhinagar. And he was contesting from there.
Do you think he was scared of your being there, you being a superstar or you being a Congress I candidate?
Well, that's for my people, my Janta to decide what it meant. But I must say that I thank my New Delhi constituency, my people, my Janta, for the confidence and love they bestowed on me. And still, in spite of all this, I will always be looking after my constituency.
You have been a superstar, and even now people love you. Do you think this thing has come in handy for you in this election?
Well, whenever you say that I was a superstar, I would like to say one thing, that I was an actor, I am an actor, I'll always remain an actor. Somewhere in between I became a superstar, I do not know.
But did it come in handy for you in this election?
Well, yes, I mean in the sense that my fans and my people of my New Delhi constituency really had all that confidence in me, and they really did their best for me, I must say that, and they made me win this election. It was only here I lost it at the last moment. But as far as my people are concerned, I won this election.
But as I said earlier, you were a late starter. Your name was announced very late. And I'm sure that you have never contested this any election before. So this first election, what was your experience?
Well, I'm a very hard nut to crack. And I'm a seasoned warrior of many battles.
Yes.
And this was a Congress strategy to corner him up, and we did corner him up.
But why is it that Congress decided to take you to choose you as a candidate and not any other political stalwart?
Well, you've seen it for yourself, how tough it was for him. That in spite of the returning officer saying that he's winning, and he's winning with a margin of 1,550 odd votes, for a tough man, for a big man like him. So they had to use a tough man like me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rajesh Khanna. And this is Prabhat Dabral taking you back to the studio.
जाकिर साहब, आपकी पार्टी ने सरकार बनाने की दिशा में क्या-क्या पहल की है अभी तक, कल से लेकर अब तक, जब से चुनाव परिणाम आने शुरू हुआ?
अभी तक तो चुनाव के नतीजे आ रहे हैं और मेरे ख्याल में आज रात तक या कल सुबह तक सारा मसला साफ हो जाएगा। उसके पश्चात ये प्रोसेस शुरू होता। सरकार की बात तो यह है कि कितनी सीटें आती हैं।
अभी तक कांग्रेस में ऐसी कोई मीटिंग्स नहीं हुई हैं या
अभी करेंगे, हम जायजा ले रहे हैं।
Just describe the backroom scenes at the moment, because I cannot believe anywhere in the world where the future prime minister has to be decided. You're not very clear. You have to have an election. Phones must be buzzing. Normal political activity must be at its peak. What is happening right now? There may not be a formal meeting, but there must be lots of other informal meetings going on.
Well, always there are, but as you know, there is a process, and the process has to be done according to what the law and our constitution and our rules.
And informal. Tell us about the informal.
Informally, they are not informed what one is doing. It is only a question in one's own mind. There are aspirants, and I think we have a galaxy of people who can lead this country.
So what's in your mind, sir?
What is in my mind? I am a soldier of the Congress. Wherever they put me, I do my job, and that's what I'm going to do.
So is everybody in Congress party?
Yeah, that's what it is. Nobody says like otherwise, because it will be too premature to say anything. And that is why we didn't do anything, because we were just aiming first to get into Parliament. That was the one aim. We were aiming, otherwise, if you start some things like that during the election time, your energies are diverted. So we just wanted to concentrate on one thing, and that is what we have done. And now, when everything is going to fall into place, and we are going to take up the threads, get people together, Congress Parliamentary Party meets, and then we decide. There is no problem at all.
We'll quickly go across to Haryana Bhavan, where Chaudhry Bhajan Lal is waiting for us, and we'll see as to what he has to tell us about Haryana. Over to
Two decades now, Haryana has remained a fiefdom of the three Lals, Mr. Bansi Lal, Mr. Bhajan Lal and Mr. Devi Lal. If in 1987 it was Mr. Devi Lal all the way, the focus has shifted to Mr. Bhajan Lal this time around. The other two Lals have suffered a severe setback. If Mr. Bansi Lal's Haryana Vikas Party has finished a poor third in the state, Mr. Devi Lal has lost in both the Assembly and the Lok Sabha constituencies he contested. We have here with us Mr. Bhajan Lal, whose party is all set to form the next government in the state. Bhajan Lal ji, क्या हम आपको हरियाणा का अगला मुख्यमंत्री कह सकते हैं?
मैडम, अभी कहना मुनासिब नहीं रहेगा, क्योंकि इसका फैसला एमएलएज ने और हाई कमान ने करना है।
कब होगा ये फैसला?
आज 7 बजे शाम को सेंट्रल पार्लियामेंट की बोर्ड की मीटिंग होने जा रही है। उसमें डिसाइड किया जाएगा कि स्टेटों की मीटिंग कब हो और कौन सी जगह हो। उस फैसले के बाद हम आपको बता सकेंगे कि कब इसका फैसला होना है।
लेकिन आप रेस में तो हैं।
प्रजातंत्र है ये, रेस में तो आप कह ही सकते हैं। जो एमएलए बनता है वो मंत्री और मुख्यमंत्री का कैंडिडेट तो बन ही जाता है। तो मैदान में तो आप मुझे कह ही सकते हैं कि मैदान में मैं ज़रूर हूँ।
अच्छा, नेशनल लेवल पर जबकि अब ये लगभग तय है कि द नेशन इज फेसिंग अ हंग असेंबली, तो आप क्या चाहते हैं कि आपकी पार्टी किन पार्टियों के सपोर्ट से सरकार बनाने की कोशिश करे?
सेंटर में
जी
मैडम, सेंटर में ज़्यादा ताल्लुक है। अभी हमें भरोसा है कि हमारी पार्टी को बहुमत मिलेगा। अभी मेरे लिए कहना उचित नहीं रहेगा। और फिर मैं असेंबली का मेंबर हूँ, पार्लियामेंट का मेंबर हूँ, तो भी मैं अपनी कुछ राय इसके बारे में दूँ। मुझे आज कहना मेरे लिए बड़ा कठिन है कि इसके बारे में मैं कोई अपनी राय जाहिर करूँ, क्योंकि ये भी फैसला पार्लियामेंट बोर्ड ने करना है और पार्लियामेंट बोर्ड भी ये फैसला तभी करेगा जब पूरा रिजल्ट सामने देश के सामने आए।
लेकिन आप प्रधानमंत्री पद पर किसे देखना पसंद करेंगे?
मेरे लिए सब एक समान हैं, जितने भी देश के नेता है, लीडर हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि राजीव जी के जाने के बाद पार्टी में एकता बनी रहे, पार्टी मजबूत हो और इसका किसी प्रकार का भी संकट पार्टी के सामने नहीं हो।
थैंक यू सो मच। Well, the only thing that remains to be seen in Haryana now is that who becomes the next Chief Minister. This is Upma Bhatnagar at Haryana Bhavan, handing you back to the studios.
Professor Dandavate, I would like to know your reaction to Mr. Biju Patnaik's suggestion that Congress I and Janata Dal should form a government at the center.
There are certain innovations in giving a clear-cut and final reply to this question for a simple reason. The trend in a particular style of democratic functioning, I feel that a democratic party is not an amorphous mass of individuals, but it's a party which has to do a lot of collective thinking. And one more constraint is there, that we are not just the Janata Dal, we are the National Front and we have the Left Front as our allies. And Left Front as well as the National Front, even up to today, are leading in 101 seats. So we have got a substantial strength, though very often that is not mentioned. But I must restate that while BJP has 97, the National Front and Left Front and our allies are even today leading of 101 seats. Now with this position, it is better that we come together, we have certain policy commitments, we have certain formulations, we have certain perspectives, and in the light of that, we will have to take a collective decision, both in National Front as well as the Left Front, and then only the final decision can be completed.
Mr. Bhakt, you are not inhibited by these constraints. Tell us what do you think is going to happen on the other side? Free and fair. I mean,
ये
freely and
बताना तो
openly.
मुश्किल है कि बाकी पार्टियां अपने बारे में या अपने कांग्रेस के बारे में अपने रिश्तों के सिलसिले में क्या सोचती हैं.
What is your best guess?
मैं तो बीजेपी के बारे में बहुत सीधा ये सोचता हूँ, अपोजिशन में बैठेंगे.
No, about
issues
what will happen on the next Prime Minister,
how
who's
can
going
you
to
be
form a
concerned?
coalition. What is your best guess?
No, you have to
Nah.
you are concerned. All of us are concerned.
No, the concern is कि किसका क्या रिश्ता है. मैं तो अपने रिश्ते की बात कर सकता हूँ. हमारा रिश्ता कांग्रेस से नहीं हो सकता. एक स्थिरता रहे हिंदुस्तान की सियासत में, उसमें दिलचस्पी है हमको. इश्यूज पर हम फैसला करेंगे कि हम पार्लियामेंट में किस रास्ते पर चलें. हमारी बुनियादी तौर पर कोई सियासी कोशिश ये नहीं होगी कि ज़रूरत और बिला ज़रूरत हम डिस्टेबलाइजेशन की तरफ चलें. ऐसा कोई इरादा नहीं. मुद्दों पर, इश्यूज पर समर्थन करें. कोई इश्यूज ऐसे होंगे जो मुल्क और कौम के फ़ायदे के होंगे, तो वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नज़रिया ये है.
जाकर साहब, आपको अपना कुदरती सहयोगी कौन दिखता है आज के दिन?
Look here, politics is alive all the time, and we have to be pragmatic about this. Naturally, the people will expect something tangible from us. They don't want to go to elections again.
And very soon also.
Very soon. No, it will be rather very much against their wishes. As Professor Dandavate said, that we have to think about this thing. There are parties, there are groups, but there must be some similarity of thought and approach to certain ideals. We have to think that how far can we carry on.
Let me
with that
ask you,
group.
not so, everybody's so tight-lipped, everybody's playing their cards so close to their chest. So let me ask you a more general question. What would the Congress prefer, to form a government as one party, in other words, not a coalition, as one party, meaning people joining it and being part of the Congress, or form a government with coalition, with other parties remaining a distinct identity? What would you prefer? This is a very general, we can go that far.
That would have been the best choice if you are doing your own. That is the best.
No, what I mean, you can, other people can join
Let
you
us see.
and become part of the Congress.
That is what we have to see in the coming days. You can't just predict anything, you see.
What would you prefer?
Well, that is what I said. The Congress on its own should be going ahead and forming the government and running on its own principles and policies.
I shall freely interpret that as you'd like people to join you rather than come as a coalition and retain their identity separately.
Well, that is the same thing.
Yes.
You have to find out what to do about it. I don't want to break parties. I don't believe in it. I don't want any defections. I want some ideological similarity of approach. That is what we can do. And the first and foremost thing for all of us is that the welfare of this country and the people should be uppermost.
Will we know the results soon of your deliberations?
Well, naturally we will be meeting from tomorrow onwards and be discussing everything. When the results are all out and we know how many chicks we have. and how much do we need more or we don't
Yes.
need,
Yes.
then we can decide what is what.
On this note of ideological homecoming, we thank you, Mr. Jakar. Professor Tanwar, thank you very much. Mr. Buck, thank you very much for having come here. इस कार्यक्रम के मुख्य समाचार एक बार। आंध्र प्रदेश में कांग्रेस धीरे धीरे जोर पकड़ रही है। गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी सबसे ज्यादा ताकतवर। महाराष्ट्र में कांग्रेस आई 35 से ज्यादा सीटें जीतने की ओर। हरियाणा में कांग्रेस भारी जीत की ओर और केरल विधानसभा में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को कोई सीट नहीं मिली। हमारा ये कार्यक्रम अब यहीं समाप्त होता है। अगला कार्यक्रम 5:40 पर। तब तक के लिए हमें इजाजत दीजिए। नमस्कार।